Hello everybody, this is Gregory with 100 Pounds Off for 30 plus years. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about whether or not social media influencers can help you with weight loss, your weight loss goals. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. I lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for 34 years now. I might be able to help you. Look, let's face it, a large majority of Americans are on screens. A large majority of those Americans are on social media, and a large majority of those people, whether it be on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, subscribe or have some sort of attachment to certain personalities on these platforms. And many times, maybe these people are trying to help you lose weight or work out or whatever. And can these people help you? Well, I would say that I didn't have this in 1990. Clearly we had no social media. I'm just trying to think, like, aside from like the PE coach or maybe a trainer at the gym, there was nothing close to that. You didn't have this on television. Back in 1990, we had 3 channels. So is it possible to lose weight and, more importantly, keep it off without the help of social media influencers? Of course. Do they help? I think one of the first things you got to realize about social media influencers, and I kind of talked about this tangentially on the episode on trainers. The problem with trainers is if you're like a middle-aged guy or girl who's yo-yo dieting and you hire a 22-year-old young person, trainer, who's never had weight problems, like, it's like going to the fat doctor. Are you going to really listen to the doctor who's fat to tell you to eat better when clearly they're not listening? The trainer is the opposite. It's like they cannot relate to what you're going through because they've always been in shape. And they're just doing this as a gig to make money, and they really don't care about your weight loss at all. So understand with the social media influencers, it's the same thing. The social media influencers, many of them are doing it to make a buck. They're photogenic, they're telegenic, they're typically attractive. We know that, especially in the female world, if you're attractive female, you're going to get more subs. And so these people understand, like, they might be doing it on a secondary or maybe a tertiary level to help you, but really they're there to make the money. And for them to make money, they have to do content. Now, can they help you? Well, look, if you have an attachment to one of these people and they are telling you what to do, or maybe they were formerly overweight and they are motivating you to get off your arse or to clean up your diet, or they're giving you legitimate or junk science about fill in the blank is going to help you lose weight and keep it off, I suppose on some level that isn't harmful as long as what they're teaching you is not bad for your health. I would say in general, I think we need to be very careful about influencers in our life, whether they be cult leaders or anything, and that if some social media person is telling you, look, I did this, I ate this, I see these ads before I click next. You know, if you want to shred the pounds, don't do 1,000 push-ups, don't do this, do this. And look at me. And then they'll show the six-pack or, you know, the beautiful woman. And understand, right, you're being manipulated. This is what the modeling industry does all the time, right? They don't pick ugly people to be models. They pick women that are already naturally beautiful and naturally fit. And so in the makeup industry and all these industries, right, they want you to think, well, look, Natalie Portman's wearing Estee Lauder, so if you buy Estee Lauder, you'll look as beautiful as her. Now, the majority of people, I think, understand on some level that they know they're not going to look like Natalie Portman, but there's a reason why these companies hire beautiful people to do it. So understand, like, if you follow the cayenne pepper diet, the cookie diet, carnivore diet, you know, whatever it is, and somebody is saying that it worked for them, you have to have discernment enough to understand that it might not work for you. It might not work for you. So what is the key for permanent weight loss? Yeah, you could grab like one idea from this person, 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 let's say, whatever it is, and then kind of amalgamate it into something that works for you. But don't be naive to think that if something worked for one person, it's going to work for you. We did that episode on Weight Watchers, how Weight Watchers leaked one of their, well, they didn't leak it, but one of their white papers was leaked. And Weight Watchers, they have the best business model because when people lose weight using WW, Weight Watchers, they attribute it to Weight Watchers. But if somebody gains the weight back, which we know they do 80% of the time when you lose more than 50 pounds, they blame themselves. They don't blame Weight Watchers. So what do? Eventually they'll go back to Weight Watchers. So understand, like, you are being manipulated on one level by any social media influencer into getting them to believing that if you do what they do, you'll lose the weight. Now, also understand, like, a lot of these guys too have products connected to them, so they know the business model, the business funnel. If they can create some sort of attachment where you're attached to them, you're more likely to buy their product. Look at Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner became a billionaire at age like 22 because stupid girls were buying her makeup, right? So companies know this. So just on some level, understand that you're being manipulated on some level. And just pick the best from what you can from social media influencers. But ultimately, we know what we need to do to lose weight, and that is to detach the disordered eating and the disordered drinking that we have. And most of that disordered stuff came from your childhood. And you gotta do the root work like we talked about here for several years now. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless.